101 Sneaky Signs. She's just using you, don't get fooled. Part 2.
She doesn't act that interested when you are interested, flirting, contacting her. But when you stop, suddenly she is very interested and contacts you a lot until you act interested again. The cycle then repeats.
Just why edit? Asking why does wonders.
Some people only want your attention and aren't really interested in you. They only want to feel important or wanted by someone else.
You don't miss me, you just missed the person who loved you so much you didn't have to love them back. Morty. Rick and Morty.
This is exactly what happened in my younger years. I was super into a girl that I worked with, and we would hang out all the time after work. However, I was never getting anywhere with her. I know I had made my intentions clear, and she never told me it would never happen, but just kept the possibility of it happening open. I eventually saw the writing on the wall and moved on and met my wife. I tell you, the second I stopped pursuing her and started acting like just a friend, she flipped on a dime and started laying it on strong. I would like to think that I was smart enough to not fall for her shit. The reality is, I was so smitten with my wife that I don't think anything could have made me notice another girl. If I had moved on to anybody else besides my wife, I probably would have fallen for it all over again.
I can't be with you right now. Classic on the hook line.
Enjoyed the video? Hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. Your support means the world to us and keeps the content coming. Thanks for being awesome.
Not a guy, but am a bi woman. Unironically, think of a pickup artist and how they see women. Objects of desire to be captured and kept by any means necessary. Some women do that shit too, and they use the same tactics. 1. They will be fairly quick to get angry or upset with you. Small things will be made into big problems, and you'll be put down for them. 2. They will swing wildly between treating you well and treating you like shit. Their actions are there to promote a transactional relationship. I gotta treat him well sometimes so he keeps coming back. 3. They will use their pain against you, making you feel like shit. Often they will make you feel bad for them or feel guilty. The goal is to make the guy sympathize with them as well as show vulnerability. For example, the guy might catch himself thinking, she's going through a rough time and everything will be better soon. 4. Gaslighting. They'll just lie to you even if you have proof. It will usually start small and escalate to bigger things. They want the dude to question his reality and be more open to manipulation. 5. Isolation. They'll try to isolate guys from friends, hobbies, and family if they can get away with it. If said girl is the only person they have, they'll stay even when things get really bad. Not every girl who uses people will do every one of these things, but if you stay long enough, you'll see them more and more. It might also escalate to domestic assault as well. Sadly, a lot of men don't have a lot of emotional intelligences due to the bullshit stereotypes forced on them. Things like, boys shouldn't cry, don't be a quitter, strive to be the bigger man, and don't talk about your emotions can make men easier to manipulate, on top of promoting really bad mental health strategies. Just like how pickup artists will take advantage of vulnerable women, predatory women will take advantage of vulnerable or gullible men.
Damn, I never thought of reading my ex resume on Reddit.
Girl is using my buddy and he doesn't see it. She only reaches out to him when she's single. Nothing ever comes of it as she will find excuse after excuse to not actually meet up. Then when she gets a new boyfriend, she ghosts him unless something goes wrong and she needs a shoulder to cry on. Guys, if she only reaches out to you when she's hurt or vulnerable, she doesn't want you. She wants sympathy and knows you'll give it to her. Edit. And to be clear, this isn't an exclusively girl thing to do. Guys can be guilty of this too. Edit 2. And if you were in this situation and hung on only because you wanted or thought you'd get sex relationship out of it, that's nice guy incel behavior. If you hang around for a reason that isn't, I genuinely care about this person in a non-romantic context, and would keep doing this if there was no sexual romantic desire, then that isn't you being the good guy. You don't want them, you want the idea of them that you've built in your head. It's possible you're both wrong.
I had a buddy like this. He was completely absent from all personal or friend group activities while he was with his girlfriend. She'd dump his ass or they'd get in a relationship-ending fight, and suddenly he's everywhere with everyone acting like a puppy that just got kicked with a steel-toed boot. She'd come back to him or get him back on the hook, and suddenly he's gone and wouldn't be heard from for months. She's a classic abuser, and he's just a crappy friend. They got married, and we don't see him almost at all anymore, except that one time they were almost divorced. But then he was gone again as quickly as he'd come back.
There are no signs big enough what will be visible through rose-tinted glasses.
I missed all the signs until she literally said, "I'd leave you if we're not rich." Well, at least there wasn't many ways of interpreting that one.
Honestly, some guys would stay after that, Lowell. Be glad at least that woke you up. You can say, "I love you for your money," and some guys will hear, "She loves me because I'm so smart and ambitious."
She never calls you by your name and you find out you're labeled free food in her phone.
Damn, that would have hurt real bad.
I had a friend this happened to. He wasn't named in her phone as free food, but she would only go out with him to eat. They would hook up after the meals, but he would never hear from her otherwise. When she finally ditched him, she told him she was using him for free dinners. He said, "What do you mean? I thought you were an escort." I honestly thought that's what this was. She flipped out at him, screaming about her not being a hooker and blah blah blah, and he's like, "Well, you fooled me, I guess."
She told him she was using him for free dinners. I thought you were an escort. A cracker whore, if you will.
She thought of the relationship as a transactional one, trading food for sex. And then she gets insulted when he calls her what she essentially was? That's rich. Literally laughed out loud when I read this.
She uses her emotions and body to get what she wants from you. Makes you feel like you need to spend more time, money on her, view as her. She doesn't understand the word no.
A girl once called me her happy pill, a nickname her therapist created because I genuinely made her life so much better. But she cheated on me anyway. My friend told me that you only take a pill when you need it, and I've lived by that and used that as a filter for all my relationships.
Dated 2 women whose therapists said I was a good person to have in their lives, and that I was a positive, stabilizing presence. One cheated on me, other one ditched me. Good times, good times.
If you feel like you're being used and you can't have the conversation about it with her.
Wow. I just realized that an emotionally mature and non-using person would want to have that conversation because they don't want you to feel that way anymore. This comment, us genius.
They contact you when they need something.
Yeah, and only when they need something.
She's always making posts telling her friends where you took her for dinner, birthday, holidays, vacation, and what gifts you've given her, but never once does she say anything about any unique qualities she finds attractive in you.
Hell, I had one making posts with all the stuff I had gotten her and didn't bother to mention where they came from. I didn't even exist outside of being a vending machine.
I had one do that to me, but in addition she would say that they were things she worked for and earned herself.
Her pet name for you is Visa or MasterCard.
I knew a guy in grade school named Visacar. Maybe she's just calling him by his name.
Being called by another dude's name isn't that great either.
I'm dating a former nun. Sometimes she screams her ex's name during sex.
Took me a second to get that one.
Before your comment, I thought he meant her ex from before becoming a nun.
If she has other men in her life in whatever capacity, but you're not allowed to even speak to another woman, even an established platonic friend, without her flipping her shit. You are nothing to her but a source of drama and validation. Run, do not walk away.
My ex would talk about the innocent flirting with a work colleague, but then get pissed at anyone talking to me, male or female.
Some people do not trust others because they know they themselves cannot be trusted.
I don't know if she would have. She wouldn't even kiss me until she ended it with her ex. I used to be friends with a girl who would just get guys to buy her stuff. She would put on a baby voice whenever she would ask. She even gets her male friends to buy her stuff when she knows they really value the friendship and don't want her to leave if they say no. She purposely befriends lonely guys and manipulates them. Her boyfriends are also guys who typically have trouble with women. I think she was all of theirs first girlfriend. She tried with her female friends too, but we just say no because we can do without her.
That's not a friendship, but exactly fits the question. They should say no and get her out of their life.
It's definitely not a true friendship, but I feel bad for these guys because they have no other friends. They're really shy and they're really sweet guys. They're desperate for some friendship, even purely platonic. I'm not sure if they see how manipulative she is.
I had a friend that would find men to come to her place and clean for her. No sex, no dating, just come here and clean while I order you around, and then they left afterward. They just wanted to be dominated and not in a sexual way. Seems like that was a healthier relationship than the girl you're describing. Also, her place was always clean.
Honestly, that seems like a nice exchange, LOL. Both are clear with their intentions and both get a desirable outcome.
Yeah, I think the key difference was that exactly what was happening was communicated up front, so there was no false expectations. No surprise, communication in relationships is important. Kaksu.
Okay, gonna need a number. My house needs help. I feel awful for this and didn't realize it until after the relationship, but I totally used the shit out of my ex-boyfriend and want to share some things I now recognize I did that could serve as a warning for others. 1. I did not want to have sex with him, ever. 2. I made zero effort to look attractive when with him. I never asked about his day. 4. I didn't say thank you when I should have.
Enjoyed the video? Hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. Your support means the world to us and keeps the content coming. Thanks for being awesome.